Three, two, one. And we are live.
What's going on?
Hello, what's
How are we?
going on? What's popping off? What's cracking? How we been?
Not much, not bad. Not much, not bad.
That's good, man. I'm gonna flex these real quick, man. Look how spicy
Man, they look sick.
these Eskrima sticks are, cuz. Bro, look at this 3D printed monstrosity. Bro, it's so sick, man. Yeah, so these are these are Nightwing Eskrima sticks from the Titans TV show on Netflix or HBO if you are watching this from the US. We do put Nightwing in the intro of the episodes and with the Eskrima sticks, so kind of felt fitting. Obviously, him being my favorite character in fiction.
Yeah. You know what my favorite character in fiction is? When my microphone stands up.
I never heard of that character before. That's great.
Bro, it's literally, dude. He negs because he won't fucking stand up.
Oh my god, bro. Technical.
There you go. That'll do. There you go. Lovely.
Gang shit. Yeah. Hey everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well. You'll notice there's a few changes in environment today, streaming environment.
Yeah.
Your man's got new headphones, got new webcam. And
Got a beanie on.
Got a beanie on. That's a crazy change of pace. Like, I don't really wear beanies, but I gotta kind of hide the clapped haircut, sort of.
Nah, bro, no, that shit fire, bro.
Nah, bro. All right, bet. Yeah, no, facts, bro. Like it's like. Man, bro. I got like the Gotham Lights, Dick Grayson kind of look going on. Obviously, I love Dick.
Hey.
So Grayson, Richard. I love Richard Grayson. I love him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it's at. But yeah, like I'm just keen to get started in today's episode, man.
Yeah, today's a good episode. Today, I'm really looking forward to this episode today.
Yeah, this is a really personal episode to me and Toby. We're gonna be discussing like kind of the origin of where our fiery passion for graphic novels and the world of comics sort of began.
Yeah.
And obviously that's those stories kind of led to this podcast, and obviously we'll talk about how we met, which is a funny.
Yeah, it's a really funny. Yeah, it really is.
It's a weird story, but it's a funny story nonetheless. But yeah, no, I'm really keen to get started, man. I think we
got Comics Corner as well.
We do have Comics Corner. This is true.
It'll be awesome, yeah. We're excited to share what we've been reading.
I've got a really recommendation.
Yeah.
One that Toby can definitely agree with.
Oh yeah.
Been reading it as well. But yeah, I think we're gonna start off with Mr. Toby Mills. His story about how he sort of got introduced to Superman, specifically, just comics, DC, Captain America. Like, yeah, take it away, man. Go ahead. You're all ears.
Thank you very much. So you know when you grow up, you kind of like, love superheroes. Like your mum buys you the lunchbox, the Batman lunchbox, buys you the Spider-Man backpack for Halloween. You dress up as Wolverine or something. Kind of when you're 6, 7, 8. So I guess you could say I've always kind of loved superheroes. But when I truly loved superheroes, it was in 2011 when Captain America 1 came out, the first Avenger. I was kind of going through a rough time in my life.
Very good movie, that.
It's a goated movie. I was going through a rough time in my life in that period when that movie came out. And so seeing just like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid kind of stand up for what he believes in, and especially the scene when he goes like, when the doctor goes, "Do you want to kill Nazis?" And Steve's just like, "I don't want to kill anyone.
I don't like bullies.
I don't like bullies. I don't care where they're from."
It's a great quote.
Like that scene specifically, I was like, "Damn! Like this is me. This is literally me for real."
It's literally me, man. You don't need to be aggressive to be a man. You know?
Exactly. We were talking about that before we started filming. And then I remember after that, I went out with Mum and I was like, "Oh, Mum, that was so cool! Like Captain America and all that, And she's like, "Do you know they were originally comic books? Like, you know, they weren't just like characters made for film. They were originally comic books." I remember my brothers reading Marvel and DC comic books all the time. I was like, "Oh, really?" And so we went down to Dimmicks, that's our local kind of bookstore. I remember picking up Civil War. That was the first ever graphic novel I ever picked up. And so Civil War, because I saw Captain America on the front, and so I was like, if it's Captain America, like I've got to read it. And then on the way home, I was reading it in the car, and then my mum also said, if you go to the local library, they also have comic books there as well. So it's like, oh cool, we'll go to the library. I went to the library, and the first book that I picked up was Ultimate Spider-Man, especially the book where he fights Doc Ock for the first time.
Yeah, man.
That was, I remember that specific book to this day, with him when he first interacts with Doc Ock, you know, in the Ultimate Spider-Man. And then so from there, I was kind of like addicted to comic books. And then obviously I found out about DC. Like, you know, I knew DC was also a comic book company. So then I started reading Superman, I started reading Batman, I started reading Flash and Green Lantern and all that stuff. And it's funny because when I got to high school, I took quite a hiatus on DC. I was reading Marvel because when I was in high school, it was about 2016, 15, 17. And that was like the peak of the MCU. That was like when Civil War, like Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of like the peak of the MCU. So I was reading a lot of Marvel in that time period. And a great tip for you people out there who really want to read comic books but don't know, who doesn't have the funds to buy graphic novels, local libraries are a great way to read comic books. So it's a great way to really...
Absolutely, yeah.
Because for me,
when I was... rare finds there.
Exactly, but for me, I didn't really care about owning them. I just wanted the lore. Just wanted the knowledge, I wanted the lore. And so the libraries are a great way to read comic books for free, essentially. Reading comic books for free. Like, and I don't support reading comic books online in illegal websites because it doesn't help the industry. A lot of comic book writers are losing money that way. But that's for another time. But that's a quick tip for you guys who want to read comic books. Local libraries are a great way to start reading and to read for free, basically. But I was reading a lot of Marvel in that time. And so I was a very, very big Marvel guy. I was still kind of like DC, like I'd watch Batman vs Superman. I would still kind of keep up to date with what Superman's doing. And then it was when the Snyder Cut came out that I was like, holy shit, like this character is like, my love for DC kind of sparked again. And especially for Superman. And I know that's quite late. But yeah, and then obviously since then I've kind of like, and then I started doing TikToks in that year. And then like my TikTok's doing really well. And so that's kind of like the really outline of my journey through comic books. Kind of literally, kind of emotionally in a way, the characters have like quite literally saved my life. Like have literally made me a better person, of a kind of, bro, I had no enemies for real.
I have no enemies, bro.
I literally have no enemies.
Bro, I have no enemies.
I have no enemies for real.
Like,
But throughout that whole time period, it was kind of rough due to personal reasons. It was really rough. And so, but these characters really helped me kind of get through that, really stick up for myself and just keep pushing forward. And then, like I said before, with the Snyder Cut, Superman, like I said to Liam a while ago, you know when you're playing something and you're really getting into it, like when you first played Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok. You know that time, every time you open it up and you're always like, oh, I can't wait to see, like, you know, what's next or what's new or like what's going to happen. I get that feeling every single time I open up a Superman comic, and I never ever fail to get that feeling.
Man, that's really like speaking levels to me, though. Sorry, speaking volumes to me.
But it's just the character of Superman. It really taught me because I had like a grudge. I had a chip on my shoulder of like, you know, if these people don't love me, then like I don't need to love anyone else. Like, you know, I'm on my own.
I remember.
Yeah, literally Homelander for real. Like,
Yeah.
fuck the world. Like, nobody understands me. And then reading Superman, I was like, people are actually good. If you give them a chance, if you're kind to them, you can actually,
Bring
they
out
can
the
be good
best
people,
in
but you give them a
Yeah.
second chance. And what we were saying before this, we'll kind of discuss in the episode lightly before, was going back to our roots. Liam, you said this, going back to our roots of who we originally were.
Yeah.
Because high school for us, I think high school for everyone really changes you. And Liam said this basically quoted Liam, is like you climb this social ladder.
Yeah, there's like social hierarchy. Like when
Yeah.
you're in high school, like, bro, like that's like your number one. Well, like a lot of kids had the mentality of like, I need to climb that ladder. I need to be popular. I need to be validated. When you graduate, that is so like it's so
Yeah.
irrelevant, bro. Like it's crazy.
It really is irrelevant. And so that whole time period in high school really made me not a good person. I was very kind of selfish, and I only wanted attention, and I only really cared about girls and all that. And then when I left high school, like exactly what Liam just said before, that shit don't matter. Like
No,
it
bro,
doesn't
it's
matter.
like
The world's still spinning. It doesn't really
out the
get you
window.
anywhere. And you
Exactly.
really find out what people really, like you the most. And I found out a lot of my friends that I made in high school didn't really like me, only really used me for certain things. And so, but what these characters did for me was, especially kind of like Superman, in a way, it's just like, just be you, and like you only need your family, and like that's basically it. As long as you have them, you're fine. You don't need anyone else.
Actually.
And yeah, like I like, it's crazy because I find it hard to put into words, but it's just crazy how much these characters mean to me and to everyone else. Like it's very much like when people say they can't explain the love they have for someone, like I can't explain the love I have
It's
for my
like
wife.
it's unconditional.
It's
Like,
unconditional. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, this unconditional love for these characters.
100%, bro.
Yeah, I'll hand it over to Liam now because
I'm really glad you brought up Ultimate Spider-Man, because like that for me is always going to be my favorite rendition of Spider-Man in any like there are a lot of great Spider-Man books out there, but Ultimate was my first. And like overlook, like not just Ultimate Spider-Man, but the Ultimate Universe was kind of my introduction to
I'm the exact same. Yeah,
you know,
Ultimate, the Ultimates as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the Ultimate, like, and I find it really interesting how they did Captain America in the Ultimate comics too. How he was like not your typical like Boy Scout, but no, like I think that Spider-Man run specifically, like that came to me at a time where I was kind of the same sort of age as Peter, like, you know, like I kind of had this, like I was a teenager with a chip on my shoulder, and like, you know, I just like, you know, I was very like aggressive. I was very like, you know, again, I was trying to I wanted to be relevant. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to try and fit in, and I felt so inadequate. And that's what a character like Peter Parker, like, even if you watch or read like any Spider-Man media, that's the one thing that sticks out about him being so young and inexperienced and like just so naive. Like anyone can identify with that. And for me, like, and again, because I'm rocking the Spider-Man drip, you know, like this is a character that, like, for me, just like screamed to me like, hey, like, you're not alone, you know?
Yeah.
I remember genuinely crying, like not just like about like when I saw No Way Home for the first time. Obviously that was an emotional film.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But when I came home after the movie, I wasn't crying because of what the movie like was about. I mean, like the message that, well, I was crying a little bit about the message the story told, but like obviously the hype was, you know, we found out about Toby and Andrew. It was a whole thing, right? But I came home and I was like, bro, I just love this character, and I started bawling my eyes out to my friends, like, and mind you, I was in a Spider-Man costume. I was literally breaking down in a Spider-Man costume. It was great. But like,
we love it.
And I was like, bro, like this is why I've loved this character since my youth, like, because he is like the embodiment of like, hey, like, you know, like it's okay to be imperfect. Like he's a kid burdened with responsibility and social expectations, and it's like and he overthinks every situation, he overthinks women, he overthinks his future. And it's like, isn't that every teenager? You know? Wasn't that literally all of us? And for me, that's my biggest takeaway from that character is just like and when he puts on that mask, he's like, Peter Parker, the contrast between Peter Parker and Spider-Man is like, Peter Parker is like, he doesn't get the girl, and he's not cocky, he's not like,
he struggles to get a job, he
has problems. And most people in New York think, oh, Spider-Man, he doesn't have any problems. Bitch, please. But yeah, like that's what I find, and obviously there's a lot of quotes from Stan Lee, but anyone can wear the mask. You can be white, black, Latina, like whatever race or whatever orientation, like that's a character you can identify with. Regardless, like anyone can wear that mask. So that's always the thing that stood out to me reading Ultimate Spider-Man specifically, is because that was the version of Spider-Man I was introduced to, along with Tobey Maguire.
Oh, Tobey Maguire, dude! I can't tell you that. Like, I sent a video to Liam on TikTok the other day about Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That feeling of seeing Tobey Maguire, maybe for you seeing Andrew Garfield again. Yeah, I don't think I will ever get that feeling again.
I mean, look, I love
just those emotions. Yeah.
I do love Tobey Maguire, don't get me wrong. He was my first. But I can't deny my love for Andrew. Andrew will always be, to me, like the best live action.
Valid.
They're all amazing. They are all incredible.
Yeah.
But I think Andrew's pretty standout in my humble opinion. But yeah, like, and again, like Marvel came to me at a time, in my youth, but obviously when you're a kid, you kind of like, you're blind to like the value of what comics and the actual genre can teach you.
It's just bang, boom,
it's just bang, boom, action, like superheroes saving from a cat from a tree, like, all that typical stuff. And that's great. But when you... Sorry, my dad playing Rainbow Six Siege. When you get older, you find so much value in... just stories about heroism and self-sacrifice and morality. So to me, like, I've had a very... I will always have a great relationship with Spider-Man. As much as the 616 comics aren't amazing as they used to be.
At the moment, especially, yeah.
Specifically. That the love I have for that character, no matter how much I love Nightwing, and I do love Nightwing, he does rival my Spider-Man love, but like that love will never fade for that character. I mean, he was like, and is like, genuinely one of my idols and why I aspire to be a kinder and gentler person. So
right, you gotta have no enemies.
Yeah, look, like, and again, like, I started getting into comics around when I was maybe 8 years old, I think. My mom bought me a Simpsons comic. I remember she brought it home. He was like, hey son, like, I was down at Woolies and they're selling, no, not Woolies, somewhere else, but they were selling Simpsons comics. I think it was maybe Adelaide Comics or something. But I found myself actually going back there with my mum and dad. And if I saw this like cool like Spider-Man comic or Doctor Strange comic, I was like, I begged my mum, like, hey, can I, like, I'll do all the chores, I'll do this and that.
Yeah.
Like, and like, it was initially my love for Marvel that started it.
Yeah.
I've discovered DC later. DC
it's crazy how our paths to comics are similar. Yeah, like, we found DC later. Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's like Marvel and DC kind of became, and comics in general kind of became a safe haven for me in my adolescence, and like, because I got bullied a lot. Like, it's like a lot of people when I was younger, a lot of people, like, I was a lot like Parker growing up. Like, I was underestimated. I was bullied. I was constantly made fun of because, I had the face of a pizza and like, my interests didn't interest anyone else, and I was weird for liking what I wanted to like. And, like that around that time was when I discovered the Spider-Man character, or when I was embracing the Spider-Man character, like, in comics. And I used to come home and just read for hours and just like, this is like, he was my first quote unquote comfort character, you know?
Mm.
He was the one that started it all, essentially. He was the reason, like, he's the reason I am the sort of person I am today, and he is the embodiment of what I believe a man should be.
No, exactly right. And going back to what you were saying before with the whole
Spider-Man, you know.
Spider-Man, exactly. What you were going back before about how Spider-Man was kind of your first true kind of love, but then later on you found DC and you now kind of
Yeah.
Nightwing.
So yeah, Nightwing, yeah, no, 100%. Well, for me it was Robin. Like Robin first,
Yeah.
and then like I fell in love with Titans and Teen Titans, sorry. And the thing is about Robin is like my father's a great man. But my father was always like not as like in a situation like in a pretty intense situation, he was the one like doing all the hard work, and I was the one like I was pretty like colorful. I was like radiant. I was like, like, hey, it's okay, like you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And for me, that was always kind of the Batman and Robin dynamic. Was that typically in a situation, the Batman, would be sort of cold and brooding and everything, whereas Robin would be like a bit soft and optimistic and like comforting to the victims. That's the sort of kid I was, and again, you can sort of compare Parker and Grayson to an extent, but I think just when it comes to the amount of compassion I had for people, like as much as like I was bullied a lot growing up, my compassion and my desire to want to show kindness was always there, right? And that characters like Spider-Man and Robin / Dick Grayson were kind of like my idols for like having that mentality, and like I just wanted to give people hope, and that's what I do every day. Like my real life genuine ambition is to open a homeless shelter, and if it wasn't for Nightwing and Spider-Man, I know it sounds a little bit silly to a lot of people, but I would have never considered that if it wasn't for the influence of those two characters.
No, exactly right.
In my life, and these characters just hold so much value. Like they are a reason. Like my whole personality mostly comes from those two characters. And I'm so glad, because like they are literally to me like the best of what each universe has to offer. I mean Superman's great. I love Superman.
Yeah.
I can't diss Clark. I can't diss the big boy scout of DC.
Big blue,
But for me, like I've always related and identified with Robin and with Dick Grayson, and how he like came out of his shell and had his own identity, and like it's just pulling so many tens, bro. Like as Night, he's got that Night Riz,
on God, dude.
And bro, like I aspire to be like those characters. And like the thing is with Robin specifically is he was a character that I grew with. I kind of started out as a little Robin, and then like as I got older and more experienced, I kind of grew into the whole like accepting your own identity, similar to Dick Grayson. So like that's kind of how I look at it. And like I have so much like stories with these characters. I mean, they've given me hope when I was in a very, very horrible place mentally, and even when I am now, even if I am feeling if I'm in the dumps or I'm feeling pessimistic, which rarely happens, but I will always turn to like for example, like Nightwing Leaping into the Light is a perfect example of like a book that can switch it up, like, and it can just like. There's so much to learn from the Tom Taylor Nightwing specifically. There's so much to learn about. I learned a lot from myself about myself from reading Tom Taylor Nightwing, and I know it might sound silly, but like those are what those characters like bring out in me, is just the best version of myself, and that's what I want to do. I want to be the one who like makes people feel comfortable and reassure people, and I want to motivate people, and yeah, like that's I feel like I'm kind of rambling, I'm sorry, but like
no, it's really interesting. You got some very good points, because what you said about the Tom Taylor run, how you kind of learned a lot about yourself in that run.
Yeah.
For me, the one book that I learned a lot about myself was Superman Red and Blue.
A very good book. Yeah.
Because obviously you read the book recently.
Yeah, I borrowed it. It was
I was
fucking great.
reading it, and every other issue, I was like getting a tear down my eye, or I was getting real choked up. And the lesson I got from that book is like, I actually love people. I love caring for people.
Yeah.
I love the world we live in. I love, seeing people like aspire and thrive, and that's what I really learned from myself, and that's what I try to channel every day, even when I'm down. Yeah.
For me, the one panel specifically in that book that stands out to me, like what you were just saying about like wanting to help people and wanting to see the beauty in the world we live in, is in Superman Red and Blue, when he's like flying around the planet, and he's talking to homeless people. He's talking to
there's like he's talking to the nurses. Yeah,
he's talking to the nurses. He's talking it's like, and it's just like he says like, I am so proud of you, and it's like, what he does there is what I want to make people feel for like ever. That's what I want. Yeah. That's the sort of message and positivity I want to spread. And Superman is a perfect embodiment of that, in my opinion.
No, you're exactly right. And
it's just that positivity.
I love that issue. The issue that really stood out to me was one of the first one, when he goes to that guy in the funeral.
Yeah.
And he tells him about how his mother was kind of starting to do heroin, but she taught him to look up. And when he flies to the moon, and he's like, he puts the flowers and her ashes on the moon.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm sorry, I'll do better. That really stuck to me, because even Superman, you think as this perfect human being, this perfect superhero, still kind of downs himself, still thinks he can be a better person. Exactly. And be a better hero, which we all know he's like the perfect hero, but it's the lesson for me that I was like I can be a better person, even though I might think I'm a perfect human being, I'm a perfect person, I can be better. Like there's always room to be better.
Exactly. Like we're never gonna reach peak. We can always strive to like improve ourselves in any way we can.
And that's something I just love that book. And when Liam was like, whenever I get down and kind of mopey and like, I hate my job and all that other stuff, I always turn to like the wholesome Superman edits on my phone. Like I've got them all like kind of saved. But I always watch them. And
that's me with Nightwing though.
Like you go to those wholesome edits on TikTok, and I know it kind of sounds a bit silly, but
no.
I watch them, and it kind of reminds me of why I keep going, is because I love life and
you didn't really send me the best edits though. Like they really are.
But they're the ones I kind of save on my phone, and I always go back and always watch them all the time.
There's a lot of talented editors out there. It's pretty crazy.
Bro, literally, and that's what, and like TikTok, these TikTok edits can really send a powerful message.
They really do, man.
Like especially like we were saying, these edits that we always send to each other. They're always like, some of them, like yesterday morning, I saw one. And it literally got me choked up, because I woke up and I was really down. It was like literally the second edit I saw, and it was like a Superman one, and it got me choked up. And then instantly I was kind of like, I'm ready to take on the day, because
take the day by storm, man. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like I can't look, bro. Like when I'm like Dick Grayson, honestly, is one of those characters that's like I'm ready to like get hurt in the process, but I'm ready to come out on top. Like bro, like he is the absolute definition of determination, and like just like he's kind of like, you look at the contrast between Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, is that Jason, his methods are more aggressive and in your face, whereas like Dick Grayson's much more of a soft trust. He will trust you, and he understands your struggles, and he obviously will always give you the benefit of the doubt. Even if he is wrong, he'll always choose to give you the benefit of the doubt. And that's like, just like, for me, that's what I tried to be like, like that. I have learned so much from that character, man. It's crazy.
But and it's really funny, another character that I talk to Liam to quite a lot, and it's a really, really kind of weird one, and Liam always tells me it's Frank Castle.
Yeah, no, that is weird, man. Like, yeah, facts.
Because like Superman's a favorite DC character, but then like you ask who my favorite Marvel character is, the Punisher. It's really strange.
I was literally talking to Jacob about it the other week. Like I was like, yeah, man. Like we got this podcast going on and it's going really good. Yeah. But like, there's always one thing that kind of like weird, like just really sticks out. It's when he discusses like his love for like what Superman taught him, and how much he loves Superman, and like how much he believes in being like a gentle and caring person.
Yeah.
And it's like, but like, yeah, but like, I love Frank Castle as well. Like, and it's like, how does that work? I can't really comprehend that. But like, nah, it's cool. I mean, Frank Castle is a sick character, but like, bro, it just sticks out to me, man. It's like, I don't know how that
even
works,
comic
man.
book shop owners, when I go to the comic book shop and they ask me like, "Oh, who's your favorite characters?" And I'm like, "I love Superman for what he believes in," and blah blah blah. And they're like, "Oh, that's really wholesome. Who's your favorite Marvel character?" And they probably think I'm gonna say like Captain America or Spider-Man, but I'm like Punisher, and they look at me like, "Huh?
Yeah, bro." So like,
How does that work?
Bloodthirst anti-hero, like, you know.
But and that's what I mean. But that's the strange looks I get with Punisher. But the one thing that Punisher taught me the most is like, you see Frank Castle, like you compare him to Batman, like you see Batman get beat up and he gets stabbed and he gets, but like he goes back to the Batcave. He's got all this technology. He's got Alfred. And he's better, but in like 2 hours because he has the super peel that makes him do everything. You know.
Yeah, man.
And that's a great story about, like, you know, getting back up again. Like, you get knocked down, you get back up again. But something that I really learned about Frank Castle was determination to really, like, drive for what you believe in. And we know what Frank Castle does is wrong.
Yeah.
But nothing stops him. And he gets shot, stabbed, but whatever. He hasn't got a Batcave. He lives in a van. All right? Yeah. He goes back to his van. He just sleeps it off. He gets back up. He doesn't take any, like, painkillers or anything like that. And the message that really taught me was just like sheer determination. Like nothing can stop you from getting what you want. And like I said before, what Frank does is wrong because he kills people. And what he wants is he wants to kill villains. He wants to kill drug lords and all that stuff. But like, you know, nothing can stop me from becoming an actor. Nothing can stop me from becoming a better person. Nothing can stop me from, you know, wanting something and achieving a goal. And that's what Frank taught me the most. And especially when I'm kind of like hurt at the gym or like at work or something, especially at the gym. Let's say the gym, using the gym as an example, you're doing a set and you're just pumping through, like your arms are starting to feel weak. You start to sweat and you're dry, but
just one more.
Just one more. But I get like Frank Castle, and I'm envisioning Frank Castle getting shot, and you know he's like getting shot, and he's getting hit, but he just gets back up again. He goes straight back into the fight, and he just keeps going. And that's what Frank Castle really taught me the most is determination. And I just absolutely love that. And it's a real shame that people don't see that with that character.
Respect, like I mean that's valid as fuck. Like.
But that's the great thing I think about comic book characters is everyone interprets these characters so differently.
Yeah, it's a.
Do you know what I mean? Like with me and Frank Castle, and you with Nightwing. You know, some people might look at Nightwing as a different character to you. Some people might look as Punisher, and that's the awesome thing about these characters is I don't think. How do I say? Like with Punisher, when they go, "Oh, Punisher's wrong for what he does." For me, like I don't look at that. Because I leave that in fiction, when he kills all those people and he like slits their throat and all that stuff. I leave that in the fiction, in the land of fiction, because you think he's in a world where people can fly, people can turn into big raging monsters, so that shit doesn't really matter.
That's it.
I take away the emotional development that I get, the message I get from that, and the whole thing about determination is what I get from Frank Castle.
No, that's really interesting that you like. But that's a really good explanation for like your love for that character. Like obviously it might catch people off guard, but when you like kind of like deep dive as to why, like, hey, like I know it might sound weird, but I do love Frank Castle for like a lot of valid reasons. And like, yeah, I mean he is like, despite all of the shortcomings with like, you know, like in comparison to Superman, obviously they're quite different. But I mean, bro, he's one of the most determined, and he truly believes in his cause. And like you gotta believe in yourself, man. Like I mean, I know he's moving a bit mad, but like
I know,
he does believe in himself, man. And I can't fuck that. It's fiction at the end of the day, so like I'm not actually supporting like a serial
killing thousands of people.
Yeah, like don't know, bro. It's quite interesting. But, yeah.
But I just thought of something. Fuck, I'll come back to it, but I just thought of something really good. with Frank Hobbs, especially with the scene in John Bernthal. Fuck, I'll get back to it.
We'll get back to it. I actually feel like we should kind of discuss, because a lot of people are kind of curious to know. We haven't discussed it before. But our story, man, is like, how we came to be. Because like, I want to talk about. Let me talk about it, man. Because I feel like there's actually some details you just like. But the thing is, right? We actually met in late 2019, but we didn't actually meet. Like, we were like literally next to each other. Like I
remember you telling me about this. Yeah,
bro. It was in Adelaide Comics, like, because we're an Adelaide-based podcast. And we went. I remember I was in Adelaide Comics. I think I was.
Oh, here we go. Shout out to Adelaide Comics.
Yeah, bro. Let's
the number one comic book shop. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta plug them, man. They're amazing. I pick up all the good shit from them, man.
Yeah, they're the best. Number one.
Great. But yeah. So funny enough, I remember, I think I was shopping for like a new Doctor Strange issue or something, and I was sussing the graphic novels, man. And like, I think I did follow you like on TikTok, like around 2019. And bro, like when I'm telling you, you were like right next to me. I'm like, you were right next to me.
Yeah, shit.
I only clicked like, because the thing is, I was following you, but I had no idea you were from Adelaide. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, there's no, like, he looks so familiar. I was like, there's no way that's actually him. And then, like, he walked out, and I was like, no way. And I go on my phone, and I'm just like, he looks just like this guy I follow. So like, I went on your account, and it's like, I actually looked at your bio for the first time, and you were like, Adelaide. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, fucking, like, and yeah, like, I think I remember. Because I joined your live streams as well. Like,
I remember that live. Yeah,
this was yonks ago.
Yeah,
and then like I think I tried to DM you, but you weren't following me back at the time.
Yeah,
so, like, I remember being like, dude, like I had no idea you were from Adelaide. What the hell? You were like right next to me in the comic book store. And then like we eventually like because this was back when he was doing directing.
I was in film school.
Yeah, and like. We would discuss, like, I would go on his live stream. This is back when you would live stream like on a very like.
I was live streaming like every night, second night. I was doing it a lot.
Crazy. But I join his streams and I get to know him, I chat to him, and like, bro, he's just like a really solid dude. And like, I think he ended up like following me back, and like then it was Comic-Con all around. And I
was Comic-Con,
because you were just talking about him, but you went as Frank Castle.
Yeah, I was Punisher, yeah.
And like I hadn't, bro. And the crazy thing is I didn't even meet you there.
It was John.
You were there. It was my mate Jonathan Hanna who was cosplaying as Doctor Strange, and I think I did actually see you, but I was cosplaying as
you're Amazing Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
yeah.
I was Amazing Spider-Man too. I was Andrew Garfield, and I think you might remember, but we were all grouping together. Like all the Spider-Men were grouping together.
I remember seeing that. I remember. Yeah.
So the thing is, like, you probably had no idea, but like I was the TASM 2 Spider-Man, like pointing at people, like, bro. And it's like it's crazy, like how the universe was like trying to bring us together. I think, you know?
It's really crazy, especially with John as well, when he came up.
Yeah.
He didn't call me Toby. He just goes, "Oh, Rad Comics."
Yeah, bro.
I kind of like turned around. I was like, "What the fuck? Am I famous?" Like,
yeah, no, bro. I mean, that must have been so fucking surreal for you, eh? Like, the thing is, like, I remember I would tag John in like your Superman videos like all the time. Because like again, like John was like and is one of the most like biggest like he's on your level of like Superman.
Yeah, I'll tell me. We literally every day we talk about Superman to each other, like every single day.
Bro, like legit. I mean, I never met like John's never really met someone with that like same level of passion for that specific character. So like when he met you, that was like, I mean, that was pretty big for like him, and like. It's just crazy how one thing led to another. And then I finally, because we knew each other through social media, we met. I was with Brayden.
Yeah, we did that Comic-Con.
We met in the city for the first time. It was crazy. Yeah. And then we then actually went to Adelaide Comics together. And then we went to Gamma, and then we went to Greenlight. And bro, we just like, we became like,
it was literally like that. Like,
it was like that.
Yeah.
We just clicked, bro. And like, I think you remember, man. But we were at Adelaide, and it's just like at the time when that comic book store was like kind of having like a renovation, and they had like that.
Oh, they had all those issues.
Yeah, they had all those issues, and like you're like, bro, is that no? You're like, nah, move.
Yeah,
I grabbed like a whole like thick bunch of individual issues. I was like, no, bro, I gotta secure the bag.
Braden bought like every Red Hood issue there.
Bro, he's like, no, I got like Death in the Family and the Red Hood. Like, yeah, bro, like it's crazy, man. But that just goes to show, man. Like, I just like, bro, like those memories are like just like core memories to me now. It's like, and I'm really glad that one thing went to another, and now we're doing this podcast together. It's great.
But it's crazy that like if we never like when we first got into comic books, it's crazy that like if we ended up when we got older went, I'm too old for comic books now. I'm just kind of like gonna do something. Like, you know, I'm just gonna work. I'm gonna go out clubbing. I'm gonna go like, you know, just focus on getting girls and stuff. This would never happen. Like, I don't think I would have had the TikTok page that I've had. I wouldn't have made the friends that I've had. Like, but I wouldn't have changed as a person.
As much as like
the better.
As much as TikTok, I'm not gonna lie, is kind of TikToxic sometimes. But I can't deny, like, if it weren't for that app, like, I wouldn't have met you, man. Like, I mean, I really gotta talk about that for a second. Like, I gotta really appreciate, like, just how, like, that came to be, man. Like, and I'm really glad, man, because this podcast is, like, just so fun to be a part of.
Yeah, it's great fun.
And it's crazy because I see it growing all the time. Like, it's crazy, man. Obviously, like, you know, we're talking about, like, now having guests on and, like, you know.
Yeah.
Bro, it's just crazy, man. Like, it's been a really crazy journey, and like we're still going, you know. Bro, I just find it, bro, it's so funny, man. Like, bro, you were literally like out of all the people to be there on that day, like,
that's crazy.
In LA Comics, like, we were literally, it's crazy because we were literally like 3 feet from one another, man. Obviously, you were sussing the Superman shit, but like, it was like, oh, bro, it's mad. Like, it was just crazy, man. Like, dude, it's insane. Like, and it's crazy because I had no idea. What I found most mind blowing is like I had no idea you were from Adelaide. I knew you were Australian, but it's like I didn't know you were from Adelaide. So like I was kind of like on the fence, like no fucking shot, that's actually him. Like, it's crazy.
But it's like when we spoke about this ages ago. And I guess it goes to everyone out there, when you finally meet someone that has the same interest in you and you have the same passionate as you are, it's like meeting someone in a foreign country and you finally meet that person that speaks the same language as you.
But
it's that moment of like, oh my god, yes, I finally found someone.
Bro, legit.
You know?
Like,
that's what that moment was like when we kind of first met. Yeah,
100%. Like, I mean, because bro, I love all things comics, man. Like, I mean, I love collecting, I love reading, I love talking about them, I love reviewing them, I love doing podcasts about this sort of stuff, man. Like, I mean, look, I was called a nerd my entire life, man. You know, like, and I was belittled for it, I was bullied for it, but bro, I'm so glad I stuck with it, man. Like, because
I'm the exact same. Yeah,
because like the thing is with me, is like, I know I didn't have a lot of friends who liked the same stuff, but like those just weren't my people. Those
exactly. No, I get you. 100%.
And I found the right people that I blend with, and I'm happy, man. Like, that's what you just find the people that you blend with the most, and you'll be the happiest version of yourself.
Because I'm sure you got to that point, and I definitely got to that point where like I would be reading comic books, and I was like, nobody here likes comic books. I'm never gonna find friends that like comic books. I'm never going to find people that love gaming. I'm never going to find those people. And then when I met you, like, and then like me and Matt, obviously we're mates, and then like meeting people through TikTok. Like, there's another guy who I know that is from Adelaide, I think, who is also a massive comic book fan. Also loves Dragon Ball. So like, you know, it's pretty sick. But like, it's that like this whole community, whether through the internet or through the city you live in, the whole kind of comic book community, it's just great. It really is the best community, and I know it can be very toxic sometimes. It
can be, especially when movies are coming out and like but this should be more accurate.
Yeah,
you know,
it's all that, but it genuinely is like the best. It is a great community I've ever been a part of.
It's my favorite community to be a part of. I love discussing this shit with people who just like share the same level of passion for certain characters and certain storylines, and it's like, bro, come on, like.
Exactly, and I was at my friend Matt one night, and we were watching Dragon Ball, and we were watching when Goku first went Ultra Instinct, And we were like, oh my god, holy shit, but going nuts, right? And Matt turned around to me, he goes, it's crazy how your brain just understands this automatically. Like, if you try to explain Ultra Instinct to someone else, you might as well be talking Chinese to them, or if you explain, the multiverse, to someone, the Marvel multiverse, they just, they wouldn't understand. And I just think that's so cool how our brain, can just automatically switch and just understand. Because if you ask me what 6 times 5 is, bro, I'm done. I can't give you the answer. If you ask me to spell, is that
30, right?
I think so. I don't know. I think so.
I'm hard on that, bro.
Or if you ask me to spell a certain word, I'll give you a Chinese word. But if you ask me to explain the entire lore of Superman, you ask me to explain how all of Goku's forms work, I can give you that answer like that. I can give you a whole fucking PhD.
Oh, what?
On that shit. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same for you. If someone asks you the whole lore about Nightwing, or explain the Ultimate Spider-Man story to me.
Yeah.
You can just drop a whole PhD on it.
Bro, I literally could do a PowerPoint presentation on tell the Tom Taylor Nightwing or Brian Michael Bendis Spider-Man, dude, because those are my 2 favorite comics of all time. It's crazy.
Right, I'll just do a Dragon Ball one. It'll be 1 slide. All it is just Goku next. That's it.
Yeah, bro. Just every slide for a specific universe and why Goku would name. Yeah, right.
Bro, literally. Oh god. Actually, speaking of Goku, another really character that really changed me recently, kind of late last year, was Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I got really big into Dragon Ball, and especially a character that really stuck by me was Goku. And
that's kind of thanks to Braden though. He kind of helped you out with that. He was
Braden was the first person. He goes, oh, you should really get into. But that's the other thing. If I never met you, I wouldn't have met Braden.
That's it,
and then
bro.
Braden would have told me, they're oh, bro, I reckon you would really like Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were at Supernova.
Yeah.
We were at the manga stand.
He was cosplaying as Anakin, I think.
Yeah, it was Anakin, and we were at the manga stand. And I was just flicking through Dragon Ball because I've heard so much about it. I was I wonder what's up with it. And Brain's bro, you should get it. You would love it. The action's insane. He goes, I think you would definitely love Goku as a character. And I was you know what? I'll try it. I haven't read manga in so many years. I'll try Dragon Ball. Yeah. So I picked up the first 3 volumes, the Viz big volumes. So basically the first 9 volumes, technically. And I was at my sister's that weekend, bro. I binge read all 3 books in the whole weekend, dude. I just fell in love with this world of Dragon Ball, and especially this character of Goku. And Goku for me, kind of Goku's not the smartest bloke in the room. Someone asked him how to spell his name, and he started going Gokeys.
That's why Light from Death Note could not probably beat Goku.
Yeah.
Because he can't even spell his name.
Yeah.
How could Light write in the Death Note?
Yeah, so how do you spell your name? And he just goes...
Legit though. I do love Death Note. Great anime.
But it's that feeling of Goku's he doesn't even know how his kids were born.
Yeah.
He's got 2 kids, and Vegeta asks him, how are your kids born? He goes, I don't know.
Oh,
he goes, I woke up and they were just there. I don't know.
That's it.
But something that I love about Goku, he's not the smart. I'm never the smartest bloke in the room, and Goku's obviously never the smartest bloke in the room. But he's just happy, man.
But his lack of intelligence, he makes up with his just motivated spirit. With his drive is crazy, bro.
But it's this simple kind of morals and values. So just be happy, man.
Yeah, bro. Happiness is underrated.
Shit happens. You're gonna get down. Something bad's gonna happen. But hey, shit happens. You just gotta deal with it. You gotta try and figure your way out. You gotta try and just push through it.
Yeah, and Goku, doesn't he help Vegeta become a better person?
Actually, that's a really good. I completely forgot about that. So, at the start, Vegeta comes to Earth, and Vegeta's he's your typical villain. He wants to destroy the planet. I hate human beings. I hate everyone. I'm the strongest person alive. But Goku sees a potential in that because he sees Vegeta so powerful. He's if I train him to become a better person, like, you know, he can become something. And Vegeta, like, they end up fighting, and then Vegeta loses, and Vegeta stays on planet Earth because he's like, how is this guy so strong? Please tell me how this guy is so strong. So Vegeta trains harder than him. You know, he fights harder than him. He's more arrogant than him. And then it's in the Majin Buu arc, Vegeta sat there and he realized, he goes, it's not about arrogance. It's not about power for Goku. It's about testing yourself and moving yourself forward and being happy with your life and fighting for something. Because that's what makes Goku so strong. He's opened himself up to people and his emotions.
Nice, bro.
And that's what I love about Goku, and that's what Goku taught me. You know, open yourself up and kind of like be positive, because it can change people's lives.
It can, yeah, bro.
Goku was so positive, it changed Vegeta, it changed Piccolo.
Positivity is like a domino effect. It's like a virus, bro. It's like a virus, like you want to spread. It's like and it's deadly, bro. Like for example, like today, like I'm not even kidding. I was literally telling you this before, man. Like, bro, like I obviously on my way back, I just got a car. I would do a little bit of a shop around, like, and I had some cash in my wallet, and I see this lady. I think she's desperate. She's trying to catch a cab or something, and it's like, bro, I mean, I can't walk past. I literally just stop in my tracks, get my wallet out. I pull a few notes out. I'm like, ma'am, I want you to have this. And it's like, bro, even if it's just one small thing, like it goes so far, man. You know. It's like the kinder you are, the more life is going to reward you later.
There's
if you believe in that.
There's a great quote that really speaks to that in the recent Superman issue 2. You know, the whole Superman family, like Superboy, Kara, John, and then there's the Chinese Superman. I can't remember his name, but there's a Chinese Superman. I can't remember his name. And there's like Metallo attacks the Superman family and hurts Kara really bad, like really fucks up Kara, right? Yeah. And Metallo kind of like fail. He like kind of shuts down and kind of like, you know, and Superman goes, take Metallo, take him back to the Fortress of Solitude, we'll try and help him. And Chinese Superman's like, why? He hurts one of our family members, and you're going to take him back and you're going to try and help him? Why should he deserve the help? And he's like, well, and Superman turns around and he goes, well, he's going to die. He's not going to be the best version of himself. That's not the best version he can be. We can help him become the best version. And then Superman goes, if we can help him, that's how we change the world. By helping the people who need it the most. Yeah. And even people who make terrible decisions, we help them, that's how we change the world.
The thing is, like, I realized that a lot of the kids I went to school with who were vicious, vile, aggressive, like, when I left school, I realized that these kids did not have the right guidance, and they did not have the household they should have had. They shouldn't have had, parents who didn't teach them the right values and were actually a little bit ignorant emotionally. And just in general, just not being there in the first place and just kind of just taking that for granted. And, you know, when a young person doesn't have that sort of guidance, typically they, respond with just violence and having to fend for yourself and I don't need help, I don't need emotions. But if I really just try my best to lose people aside and just show them compassion, because the reason why these bullies, when people bully you or when people show disrespect towards you or kill them with kindness, catch them off guard.
Yeah, literally.
And because helping them in hindsight is also helping you.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're exactly right.
It's like Gary Vee. I love Gary Vee, man. And he has a quote don't fight fire with more fire. You fight fire with compassion. You fight it with understanding as well. Because like Goku and Vegeta, Goku didn't, just get in Vegeta's face about how he was doing. He was like, you can be better. Not all hope is lost.
Yeah.
That's the sort of approach I have with people who like would resort to like bullying to make themselves feel something or superior or whatever. It's crazy. Like compassion does wonders, man. It's crazy.
It can cure the world. It really can.
It can cure the world. It really can.
Um,
That's what comics have taught us, man.
Yeah, I think that's the message that we've kind of been spoken about here is and it does frustrate me also when you see, like, I guess it doesn't really matter, but to me it really does, is when the Oscars regard superhero movies. You see, like, when it comes to the big kind of award season, and they don't really give the recognition to comic book movies because they're for kids and they're theme park rides, and it really frustrates me. Like, one thing that I have not told Liam this, so this will be interesting. When I was at film school, my lecturer was talking about a plot of a story, and an arc of a story, and how the arc of a story works. And he said to me, he turns around to me, he goes, "Superhero movies don't have that. Superhero movies don't have arcs. They don't have, like, they don't mean anything. Like, they're there for money, right?" And I was sat there, like, being the big comic book fan that I am, I was like, "What are you on about?"
What do you mean, bro?
And then he goes, the only comic book movie that he goes, I felt that was really good was Spider-Man 1. And I was like, okay, it's an interesting answer.
Okay, Spider-Man 1 is good, but like Spider-Man 2 is like exceedingly better.
Right? So I was like, let's hear the guy out. It's an interesting answer. It's not a terrible one, but it's not the best one. And his answer, he goes, the reason Spider-Man 1, it's the best Spider-Man movie, is because it's about Peter winning over MJ. He goes, that's the great story. It's about a guy trying to impress MJ by becoming Spider-Man.
What, bro?
And I was like, did you just forget Uncle Ben?
Did you watch the movie?
Did you forget about great power? With great power comes great responsibility.
Man, like I'm. First of all, I'm sure the guy was an experienced director. I'm sure he had like.
He's an experienced writer. He's
a very experienced writer, man. But like, bro, like, because MJ wasn't the be all or end all of that story.
No,
he gave up MJ at the end of the movie because he didn't want to put her in danger. So he didn't end up with her. Yeah, he wanted to impress her by like buying the car and stuff, but like. By the end of the movie, that's the least of his concerns. He takes on this great responsibility, man. Like,
because he has
that's crazy. Exactly. Like, so that's crazy for me to hear, man. Like, that's actually weird.
I know. And then he goes on, and then there was another film lecture, and we were talking about like scenes and cinematography and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she goes, DC, and she goes, movie like those DC comic films will never have great cinematography, will never have great performances, and all that stuff. I was like, so you're just gonna forget Dark Knight, you're gonna forget the Batman, you're gonna forget, what's the other one, Joker? You're just gonna forget all of that? Like, how can you say there's not great performances, and then Heath Ledger gives not only the best comic book performance of all time, but the best performance in a film?
Yeah,
ever.
Nuts. And bro, like, first of all, like, I mean, unfortunately, he paid the price for putting on such.
But he gave us the greatest fucking performance ever.
He did give us like the most he gave us a terrorist Joker.
Yeah,
like it was insane, dude. Yeah, like I disagree, man, bro. I don't know how people can say that like DC can't be cinematic. Like,
or
have you
just
seen
superheroes
Lego
in
Batman?
general.
Yeah,
but like the Joker, like they win all these Oscars, and it doesn't matter, because it has DC on the front cover, because it's about Batman. It doesn't have a story. It doesn't have character development. It doesn't have good cinematography.
Yeah, no, I can't really get behind that person. I feel like they're a little bit biased because of the whole thing. Like, no, look, I can sort of understand Martin Scorsese's perspective. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
he's got his own opinion, but Marvel and DC movies aren't lacking in arc, and like, okay, sure, maybe some people are a little bit biased with the MCU currently, but like Marvel have Netflix Daredevil, all right? Netflix Daredevil, okay, and Netflix Punisher for that, for example as well, bro. But you can't like replicate the sort of story and the character motives and the characterization of like Matt Murdock, bro.
Yeah.
Like Daredevil is not Spider-Man, bro. Daredevil is not like I mean, yeah, he's like harder than comics but that show like changed his character drastically. And bro, like, I mean, it was a bit of a gory show, and it was.
But I don't think we'll get another show like it. I genuinely don't think we'll get another show like it.
Hey, look, I got high hopes for Born Again, man. Like, obviously, I love Daredevil, probably not as much as Jackson, but yeah, like, I think we're never like, it was cinematic. It was the acting was superb, man. The story was like on point. The characterization was on point.
Cinematography was unbelievable.
Season 3, need I say more? Like,
season 3 was outstanding.
Outstanding character arcs. Like, I feel like people will say, "Oh, like I remember putting on Daredevil for the first time, and like people wouldn't have guessed it was Marvel."
Yeah,
you know, like people like thought it was like some, I don't know, CSI show. I mean, CSI is not, you know. I mean, I don't watch CSI, but like, I get why people would want to compare it to that. At first glance, but yeah, like I don't really understand how a lot of people can say that when there are such great examples of just great Marvel cinema. But
just great storytelling in general. Amazing storytelling,
dude. Like. And again, I love Rocky and I love the Creed movies, man. Like I do, man. Like so, and I'm sure, like I mean, again, like Toby also loves stuff. Like just we're not like Marvel and DC meet, right? Well, we are and we aren't, but like like we can appreciate cinematography like even outside of Marvel and DC, bro. And like again, I love the Creed trilogy. Like I love Creed, I love Rocky, I love like that whole boxing story, man. Like I love it all, you know. And again, characterization in those films was like iconic, bro.
Brilliant, unbelievable, yeah.
You know, and like again, like, but just because it's nerdy doesn't mean it can't have value.
Just because he wears a cape or he's got a mask on, or he's got, you know, laser beams coming out of his hands.
Bro, look at Kick-Ass. Like, Kick-Ass as a movie, bro. Like, I know a lot of people probably haven't seen it in a while, but like, I recommend people honestly watch Kick-Ass 1 again.
Kick-Ass is a great film.
There was a video I saw by High Top Films, who is actually, like, his stuff is actually quite good. Not all of the stuff, but his stuff is actually quite good. And he's also making a Jason Todd fan film, which looks
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, man, that looks like a really crazy passion project. But bro, like he made a whole video explaining like why the first Kick-Ass movie is just like absolutely like you need to rewatch it. It's like his exact words were, and I quote, "a love letter to like the genre," you know.
Exactly.
And it wasn't even Marvel or DC. It was like it had its own story. It had a really good character arc. It had a like, and people just have this bias towards the superhero genre that they're all like, you know, like just light-hearted candy. And you know, I just like again, there's so many examples of amazing cinema from Marvel and DC, man. You know? And I wish people wouldn't be so biased about it, you know. Like,
and it frustrates me because as a fan, when you see these people these people like high up who like us film goers respect Martin Scorsese, you know, you see all these other actors and all that just regarding these films. It's like us people, do we not matter? Like, do these films not matter? Every film kind of matters, and it really frustrates me because do our emotions not matter when it comes to these movies?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and it's really, really frustrating. Because like you see us like No Way Home, when Toby and Andrew come, I've never ever, I don't think we ever will see a movie theater like that again.
Nah, bro. Like maybe Into the Spider-Verse, but like again, probably not. Like I mean, the hype for that movie was something else. First of all, like. I mean, I remember I went to go see the movie in cosplay. I was wearing the Ultimate Spider-Man.
It's funny, we went to the same timing as well. Remember
that?
We had that story. We went to the same cinema.
Yeah, we did. So, like, what? So you're saying we were in the same cinema watching it?
No, we were at the cinema at Marion at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
yeah,
that's,
we didn't have the same session, but
again, like it's just another example of the universe just like pinning us together. Like, and we just had no idea. But bro, like I remember like bro going in like cosplay with my mates to see it, man, and like dude, like I like that. I remember crying after that night too, because like it just confirmed like why I loved that character. And like I got emotional, man. I was like, bro, this is
why we love this genre in general.
It's
why this genre means so much.
Yeah. You know, and I know people would point and laugh at us, but bro, like I wouldn't have it any other way, man. I'm like comics for me, like you have.
But what's the difference between that at a sports game, getting cheery for someone kicking a goal, or doing something, than us getting excited to seeing our favorite characters come back after so many years?
And like, I'm really tired of people just like saying like, "Oh, you can't get excited about that, bitch. Fucking try me." Like,
I hate it the most when people they say you can't cry. You can't cry when you watch these things. Like when Star Wars Theory. Have you seen it when he reacts to Luke Skywalker coming back?
Oh, Mandalorian, yeah.
And he's just like bawling his eyes out, and people are like, "You loser, why are you crying?" You know, like it's pathetic. And I remember watching Star Wars Theory after that. He did another video after that. It was so interesting. He says, when you have a character that's your emotional chain that pulls you out from those moments, you know, that's been with you, stuck with you for all your life, and you finally see that character again, you can't explain those emotions. You can't fake that.
No,
like
you really
when Henry Cavill came back in Black Adam. At the end of that, I was hyperventilating. I was literally struggling to breathe.
Yeah, no, that was wild, man. Like, bro,
that meant everything to me.
When that music kicked in too, like, bro, I remember that. That was fucking amazing. Oh man, yeah, I remember the anticipation too. We watched Man of Steel. We watched the Snyder Cut. Oh, bro, that was a good era, man.
Yeah, that moment building up. But the internet that day just getting around Superman was so awesome to see. The entire internet was getting around Superman, and
man,
they were really starting to revisit Man of Steel and Snyder Cut, and it was awesome. And obviously, I'm upset James Gunn kicked him out.
Yeah,
I trust him with Superman Legacy.
Yeah, like as much as like that, you know, era kind of didn't really last long, but like again, man, like there was hope, and there is hope for DC. Like there really is. Like Sumi, there is like. Bro, like, I mean, there's James Gunn has a vision and he's gonna execute it really well, I feel. Like, first of all, we're getting a Supergirl movie, we're getting a Blue Beetle movie, we're getting a Brewster Gold movie, or
Batman Brave and the Bold, which
Batman Brave and the Bold. Yeah, and Nightwing, you know, like because he says we're getting the Bat family. And I'm just
can't
like,
have a Bat family without Nightwing.
Bro, Cassandra Cain, like Dick Grayson, Stephanie Brown, like bring them all in, bro. I want to see everyone turn up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, bro, what I would pay to see it. Like, and again, like it's crazy because they would go. Obviously, Gotham Knights, not the game, the show that we all love.
Dude.
But they cancelled that show. No, sorry. That show came about because they actually cancelled the live action adaptation of the Wayne Family Adventures TV show. They were gonna make that webtoon a TV show with Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, Duke Thomas, an Asian Dick Grayson. Like, bro, that would have been monumental, man. And I'm still mad. I'm still like, bro, that. And then the cancelled Batgirl movie. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're mad, bro.
But it's awesome to see, like we're saying, when, you know, this whole episode we talk about how these characters mean so much. When you see James Gunn on Twitter, he fucking loves Superman.
He's passionate.
He
on
loves
Twitter, man.
DC.
He's passionate, bro.
And you always see him replying to people going like, I can't, like he's talking to the comic writers. And he's going, I can't wait to adapt your comic. I've read your comic. We're going to use some elements from that. But he loves comic books. He loves DC. And as a fan, I love that. I love seeing someone in charge of these movies, and that's why I've got such high hope for Superman
100%,
Legacy,
Yeah.
Batman, Green Lantern movie, Green Lantern show, which would be awesome with Hal Jordan.
Yeah, man.
But I love that, and I really hope James Gunn can prove to everyone that superhero movies are more than just theme park rides.
Yeah, facts.
He understands what these characters mean to us. They're not just like big bang, save the day, superhero wins, villain bad guy. You know, they help us in so much in our everyday lives, and James Gunn understands that. And I really hope he drives that message with these films and that theme with these films. And I can't wait. I just can't wait to see.
The world, honestly, in the state the world is in, like, and Toby can definitely back this up. The world needs Superman now more than ever. Like,
literally,
he's a character that he's the embodiment of truth, justice, and hope.
And what we need now is a better tomorrow. People need to look forward to tomorrow.
Thanks, bro.
And he's the number one advocate for a better tomorrow.
Bro, he literally though. Like, I mean, you look at the statistics behind the current state of mental health, right? And people's mental health, right?
You see on TikTok, everyone's on TikTok. You see it on TikTok,
Look at the charts, man. Like, we need to have a symbol of hope because, like, the world is not a nice place. Like, the world is never a nice place. But I mean, it's a kind of a vile place right now.
It is.
You know?
It really is.
It's kind of like day by day, it feels like, bro, like, is everyone becoming like unhinged? Like, a Sigma's taking over the world. Like, it's just, it feels so toxic, man.
But it was like, remember that video I sent you a while ago, and it was that compilation of all those new reports of like 10 people shot in a school in America, bombs got off in France. War in Afghanistan, you know, taxes are going up, and it was that whole compilation of the news and just this downfall that we've had in the past few years. And I sent you under that. It's like, we need a Superman movie now.
Now, honestly, bro, like, I thoroughly agree, man. Like, bro, that character does wonders for people.
It can change in this state.
It can change.
It can change the world. It really can.
I think you're definitely onto something. I feel like that character can help change a lot of people's perspectives, and that character can fill people with hope, and like, that's what the world needs right now, man, more than anything.
It's just, I can't wait, dude. It's
gonna be peak. We're definitely gonna have to vlog it and then see you all later.
The vlog's gonna be
Soup's reactions, like,
bro, literally, I'm gonna put the full Superman shoes, hat, socks, t-shirt, everything. I've asked John, by the way. I said, bro, you've got to be here when that movie comes out, because obviously me and John have to see that together.
Bro, no, there's no way, bro. That would, like, how could you? I feel like you need, first of all, you need to grab your asthma puffer. That has to be an essential.
Bro, literally, I'll need it.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be fucking wild. But I'm keen, man, and I'm keen to see like who they cast to play young Clark.
That'll be interesting. That'll be really interesting. We're supposed to be getting that soon. I want to get on to Comics Corner because
man,
I'm really excited to talk about the book you read, because I love that book as well.
So okay, so we want to kind of recommend the same book.
Well, I've got my own book, but the one you've read, I can't wait to talk about it.
All right, just give me one sec. I'm gonna grab it. Yeah. I have a physical copy lying right here. First of all, I started reading them as individuals.
Yeah.
And I started like in the middle of the series. First of all, like, I mean, the art alone.
Oh, Dan Mora, dude.
Oh! Wow, bro.
Dan Mora is so good, dude.
So I want to recommend Batman and Superman, World's Finest.
The goated run, the most goated DC run, right?
Is honestly, oh man, like, it's great. I love a light-hearted Batman, like, and like, bro, the Lex Luthor stuff in here is pretty cool. Like, the Doom Patrol stuff is pretty great.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I really enjoyed the Doom Patrol stuff.
Yeah, and like,
it's something we never see nowadays in comics, and to bring it in, and like, you know, I was kind of like, I when they came in, I was like, Doom Patrol, who cares? But by the end of the book, I'm like, It's kind of a cool crew of people, you know.
Seeing Batman smile, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's a very rare occurrence, but it happens once in a blue
But that's
moon.
what you're saying, a light-hearted Batman. That's something we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah. Also,
And it's something I love.
I won't spoil the story because obviously this is an incredible read, and I recommend it to everyone. But just bear with me a second. I have it somewhere. We were just talking about this before.
Oh, dude, when Superman and Batman do their own fusion.
No, actually, it's
Fusion.
it's this charming little panel here.
Oh, I love it.
Which I absolutely love. I think their relationship is funny as fuck, dude. Like,
Yeah, it's hilarious, man. I love
but
it.
yeah, nah,
I
it's
love
like,
it. Yeah, I won't spoil it. Yeah, shit.
yeah, no, it's just such a like. When people think DC, they think, oh, dark and gritty. Bro, this is like the furthest thing, and and Batman is like a big part of the story, bro. Like, it's really good, man. I love this book, man. I love like just the. It's like, get ready, it's time to soar. Like, bro, it's just so sick, man. Like,
Yeah,
I actually
it's just so good.
I'm actually, I'll be honest, I haven't finished it fully, but
Okay, yeah.
bro, like what I've read so far, man, like this is really good. It's only just come out like as a novel. I think they're gonna do similar to what they did with the Nightwing books, but they're probably gonna release them every 3 months. But like as graphic hardcovers. But dude, like, yeah, this is Batman, Superman, World's Finest, the Devil's Nezah, I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, Nazar, some shit like that. Yeah.
Mark Waid, Dan Mora, Tama Bonvillain. I'm sorry if I'm saying those wrong, but
Dan Mora though, he's the modern day Jim Lee. Like, he's this new
Yeah,
like Jim Lee.
yeah.
I would read anything from Jim Lee. Now I'm like, I'll read anything from Dan Mora.
Bro, like, look at that, man.
Yeah,
like,
just
bro,
the panel
literally-
work in general. The panel work is unbelievable.
Bro, it's literally me for real. Like,
Do you know when Robin goes back in time and they go to those fighters that
oh yeah,
fought Nazar? Do you know when he goes that Shang-Chi type character and he's in that pose and he's like that?
yeah. I kind of got.
That's literally a
similar
Goku
vibes.
pose. Like, that's literally a Goku pose.
Yeah, I kind of got Shang-Chi vibes from that. as
Very
well.
Shang-Chi vibes. But
Yeah.
when you first see him and he's like that, that's
That guy right there.
yeah, that's literally a Goku pose. Like, that's literally what Goku does before he fights.
Yeah, right. That's sick ass, bro.
Right.
I just wanted to display the art though.
Oh, bro, the actual hardcover, dude.
How sick is that, dude?
Bro.
Like, it's so cool. Yeah. Bro,
It
it's
goes
so cool.
hard, dude.
Very nice. It's
Yeah, I know, bro. I
fantastic.
gotta keep that shit in mint condition,
Actually,
dude.
that mint condition, bro. Like,
But yeah, I can't recommend World's Finest enough. World's Finest is so goddamn good. It's probably the best Superman and Batman story we've ever
on the
gotten.
market right now. Like, it's
Definitely, for sure.
insane.
It's better than the Jeff Loeb stuff, which is like the more popular Superman, Batman stuff. World's Finest is top tier.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A book that I've read recently this week, and I recommend the run in general, is what's funny, we were talking about him a lot today. It was The Punisher, Marvel Knights Punisher. This is
Marvel Knights. Yes.
Marvel Knights. I love Marvel Knights. I think it was a great idea. I think they should bring it back. They never use it anymore. But this is volume 3. If Garth Ennis, you know Garth Ennis from The Boys and The Preacher, you know he's very kind of fucked up. You know, he writes very gory, kind of weird stuff. But his Punisher he's the reason why I love this character so much, his original Punisher Max stuff. And so this Marvel Knights is basically Punisher Max, but canon. Because Punisher Max isn't canon, it's in its own separate world where superheroes don't exist, it's just him. But this is canon. This is Punisher Max, but canon. Now bear with me for 2 seconds. I'm going to find a page and I'm going to read it to you because it is unbelievable. It's why. Right. So he goes to a barbecue and he goes to shoot up the mafia. Like, he finds where all the mafia are and he goes to shoot them up. right? And he comes out with the energy. He goes, "I've got you guys. Like, stop what you're doing." And this muffly guy turns around. And he goes, "You win. We ain't gonna fight you. You don't gotta shoot us no more. We're gonna give ourselves up to the cops. Tell them all of the stuff we've done. We ain't your problem no more, okay?" And Frank goes, "Sure, Alcone, you surrender." Just like they all surrendered. The store owners whose legs you broke, the saps who begged for mercy when they couldn't pay the vig, the idiots you turned into junkies, the wives and kids you orphaned, they surrendered too. That hits hard, dude. Like that, and that's why I love this character, because he's such a realistic character. He like he really and like this, because lots of characters channel you in one direction. Like Superman, he channels you to be a good person, to be a better person. And Nightwing's the same, Batman's the same. But I feel like Punisher makes you question that. Is he doing what he's doing right? Is it wrong? Can we justify it? Is it, And I feel, and I love that. I love reading a comic book and being challenged. Like being challenged, whether or not.
Again, that was exactly prime example. The Batman White Knight made me feel that way.
Yeah,
bro. It's like, holy shit, like, bro, is the Joker like kind of valid? Like, it's crazy how it makes you question like what's right and what's wrong. Like,
but that's powerful shit, man. Like that's the stuff people don't see with comic books.
Absolutely.
We see lots of novels do it, but they don't think comic books do it. So I mean, if you love Garth Ennis's work, or if you just love Punisher and you want more, I highly recommend Marvel Knights. It is great.
I'll have to suss it out.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's only 3 volumes, like 3 kind of thick volumes. It's a total of let's say 45 issues in total. Like the entire run's 45 issues, so it's not the longest run.
Okay.
Like Punisher Max is like 80 to nearly 100 issues, which I have all of them, by the way. But yeah, Marvel Knights Punisher is great. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. All right. Well, I suppose that kind of wraps up our episode for tonight.
That was a great epi. I love it. That
was my favorite episode so far, man.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and I definitely feel we were like our just raw selves. Like we. I feel like we're like episode by episode, we're actually like trying to. Well, the both of us are just like becoming so more comfortable, like in front of the camera now.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting much more comfortable
than
what we did with episode 1.
100%. I'm just really excited to see where this goes. Yeah,
the next episode, which is exciting, we'll be talking about Into the Spider-Verse, and we will have our first guest. Guest on the next episode. We'll be talking about everything Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Upcoming cameo, like who do we want? Who do we see? Breaking down the trailer, and kind of our expectations. We'll have one of our good friends, Jackson, on to talk about that, which will be really exciting. And we hope to see you guys there. Please like, subscribe, and comment what we should talk about next, what you guys want us to read next. And just
providing you put comments on.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that. My bad. Because I put it for children because I thought that might get us more views, but it didn't really. So I'll probably just do like the standard.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
What it? But yeah, so this time you'll be able to comment, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And also, just to let you guys know, quick reminder that Goku negs your favorite verse.
He literally does.